So if you know me, I could be quite accident prone, and throughout my years, I have had some bad injuries. Now I'm lucky, nay, extremely lucky to have never broken any bones. I mean, I don't think I've broken any, but anyway, the first injury I'll talk about was way back in the early 2000s when I was just about 4 years old in school. And I don't know how I remember this so vividly. I think I've heard before that you remember traumatic experiences, but me and some others were spinning in a circle and that was it. I then woke up, everything was so blurry, like Vaseline put on my eyes, but I could tell the dinner lady had glasses, but everything was incredibly blurry. I don't remember any pain at all, but my mum and dad came to pick me up that day. And I also remember getting a Burger King that day and watching CBeebies, as I remember seeing those like yellow blob things that you get at the end of the day. But what had actually happened? Well, from what my mum tells me, she pulled my hair back and there was this massive opening on my head. Basically half of my forehead was just blood. So we quickly went to the hospital. Well, no, we didn't go, as my mum was scared that I would be taken away for getting injured too much, as apparently I fell down the stairs a lot. This will come to a head in part 2. So I just had to naturally heal, and I did get 2 weeks off school and it was near Christmas, so I was in that sense lucky. I really don't know how I didn't die, but that knockout blow gave me the super genius power that is autism. Well, I like to think that, you know. Now, the next one was also in primary school. In year 4, so I was about 8 or 9 years old. And me and the boys were playing football on the field and I was tackled pretty hard and it hurt, you know, a bit as what happens when you get tackled. But I just got up, carried on, and this is where it gets really weird for some reason, as it was dinner time and one of the smallest girls in my year, she was probably half my height, kicked my leg very softly. Like, I barely felt it at all. You know, it's just one of those like nothing things. But when I tried to walk, oh my god, like, I just couldn't. I couldn't stand. Like, I had no idea what had happened, but her kicking me just ruined my leg and I struggled for the rest of the day. So much that when it was time to go home, I had to hold on to the rails and try and crawl across. And it took around 15 minutes to go 100 meters. I mean, that's still my personal best for a 100-meter sprint, but by that point, my mum had got out of her car to see where I was. I was still there, using the rails to crawl on, and she helped me to the car, and when we got home, my leg was a horror show. My entire lower leg was a mixture of yellow, purple, just swirling around, creating a mosaic. So my whole leg was bruised, including my foot, and my mum could not believe it. She had never seen anything like this, and neither can I, especially because it was just a light tap causing this, and I persisted for weeks, basically incapable of walking. Yeah, her kicking me woke up the beast beneath my skin. We move on now. A few years later, in 2010, World Cup season, and it was England's last game in the group stage, and we had to win to get to the next round. We did, by the way, against Slovenia, Jermaine Defoe, I remember it. And after that game, I went into the back garden to play football, you know, and pretend I was the next England superstar with my little net, and I was having fun, but I tripped up on the post of the net somehow. Ah!
What was that? Did he just fall?
A silly penalty to give away.
He got the ball.
I felt like I broke my wrist. Oh, that's all I could feel as I was holding it there, just sat there, and it's all that was hurting. But I was down for about 4 minutes as I held it in agony until my mum came out and said, "Oh my god, your knee!" Oh, I looked down to my left knee and see a full split with a flap of skin hanging off. I was in panic, and so was my mum. But yet again, it wasn't hurting at all. And what had happened is, well, you see this sharp edge here? Yeah, you know, I fell and my knee got caught on this as I went across. So obviously this time we went to the hospital, but not before my mum saying she would deal with it. Yeah, I've seen you in action before. I want to go hospital. Hospital was alright actually. Well, not really still. You know, whatever anaesthetic they used did not work at all. I felt all 16 stitches going in and out. It was excruciating. The only thing I can think of why it wouldn't work is because obviously I was 11 at the time, so a child, but I was probably like 5'10", so the size of an adult. So what dosage of anaesthetic do you give? Do you give anaesthetic for an 11-year-old or for basically a fully grown adult sized person? You You know, it's just one of those things. But my mum was holding my hand, and my dad, after work, sat outside, probably, you know, at the vending machines. That's the kind of person he is. And this knee story is only half done right now, as I was meant to be going on holiday literally 3 days later, but my leg was stuck out straight like some sort of salute. So I wouldn't have got on the plane if I couldn't bend it. And that's what the nurse said to me at the house. So the night before going on my own, I spent about 6 hours sat on a chair with a bunch of paper towels, slowly edging my knee down, as ripping the stitches would be an absolute disaster. If my knee opened up, it would be another catastrophe. Who can imagine such a thing? So we arrived on holiday, and me and Dad were on the sandy beaches of Callenbosch, and I felt a sharp pain where my knee was, and yeah, of course, it happened. My knee opened up again on Dad's watch. So we went back to the hotel room where Mum washed away the sand, cleaned it out, and tried to use those little like tape things to try and close it, but that just didn't work. Probably because it's a knee and, you know, your knee bends, but it just didn't work. So we went to the hospital in Monaco. Oh wait, we didn't. So I just had this open wound for the rest of the holiday, and my knee now has a really smooth brown bit just below the kneecap as it closed itself, and will probably have this scar for the rest of my life. So lucky me. So hope you've enjoyed part 1. Part 2 will be out next week. If you want to watch more videos, they are over here on the side. You know, please subscribe, like, and I will see you next time.